pause. One of the things that I do after every event is I email. Yes. I will email my client and thank them.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for allowing me.
Yes. Right.
To be a part of your wedding or your. Anything I can do for you in the future, let me know. Now sending that to a wedding, people are like, that kind of sounds like they're going to be divorced or whatever. No, you have friends. Right. You know, maybe you own a company that has a corporate party.
Right.
And that's very important because something you said a minute ago brought up another, just kind of a reminder, is that it doesn't matter if you have 5 clients or 500 clients. If you make every people feel like they're the only person that you are dealing with, they will absolutely remember.
Actually, one of the things that one of the maxims in magic is if you, it's better to know 5 tricks really well, better than anybody else, than it is to know 500 tricks poorly. Right? Yeah. It's the same idea, right? You're giving it all your all. When you were talking about this card, so I want to make sure I don't want to overtalk anybody, but I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You don't want to overtalk anyone.
Pouring the drinks.
You already. Okay,
Devin, the unofficial bartender of the Enablers.
Okay, I guess I was thirsty.
Official enabler.
He's an enabler, and then somebody gave him the bottle,
like
so they're an enabler.
Right.
Enabler session.
Let's go one level deeper.
Something
I do because
fractal.
There's a lot going on in an event. There's a lot of things you're worried about. The things that you're supposed to be doing, and I think that it is important that you balance, of course, looking for new work, but do it in a way where you're not harming what you're supposed to be there for in the first place. It's not you're not paid to go give a commercial for yourself.
No, there's a happy medium,
and you will disappoint your customers. Faster than anything.
Much information as I can on the back about them, right? If I find out their wife's name, if I know when their birthday is, if I know that his daughter likes ponies, I write all of that down, so I can use that later.
So that's something just like real quick as we're trying to get to the topic of turning current customers into future sales. One of the most important things that you can ever do is do your best, hands down. Remember people's names. The first thing we ever learned how to respond to as infants is our name. And so,
I got free golf lessons because I remembered somebody's name. They were so impressed. They're like, "Hey, come out to the country club. I'll give you some golf."
I mean,
lessons.
that's really true. For the first 5 years that I thought my name was Dumbass.
mine was God damn it, Devin. I was pretty sure.
I'm
pretty sure you can't say goddamn.
And my mom called
Separately
my grandfather and was like, "This is your fault."
But go on.
You did this. But I mean, truly, what it really comes down to, the first thing that we learn, again, I'm going to touch back on this. The first thing is our name, and the first thing that we perk up to.
Well, yeah, the barroom effect, right? If there's a crowded barroom, lots of people talking, somebody says your name,
you all turn around.
Right, you instantly turn around.
And so learning your customers' names, come up with your own system. Look into, many of you know
Mnemonics,
this, many of you don't. Look into, Memory Palace. Look into other ways to remember names. There are plenty of systems out there.
Yep.
Right.
And all of them are free.
Yeah.
If you have to pay for it, you're not looking at the right sites. Because
Memory Palace is actually, they have a free Kindle book.
Did they really?
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
I need to read that.
Yeah, go find it. Hey, sprinkles.
That is really.
Can we just come in really
our,
close?
Our producer is wincing over there.
The more we drink, the better this show gets.
Well, the better we feel about it. At least.
Yeah.
But
right. So when it comes to timing, right, you can absolutely use customers for new business, because it's one thing, even if your customers are businesses, right?
Absolutely.
Because while they may be a business, right? So I'm doing an engraving for a perfume place, right? And there's lots of places that sell just perfume. But, right, while they may think necessarily want to share with their competition, they have family, they have friends, they know people in other businesses, right? No one is an island. And generally when people use that phrase, it has more to do with you affect other people, but the reality is people you are in contact with know other people. They have friends. If they're a business owner, they very, very, very likely have lots of friends who are also business owners.
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
You know everything.
Yeah.
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
One of the things I have
It's
also
not
found is
super
confidence is a big
Go
deal.
supply the bacon.
You
Without
know,
arrogance.
Exactly, not arrogance.
Right.
And I'm wearing this shirt. I can be pretty arrogant, but
You're
really,
also yourself.
confidence is a big deal because you. So one of the things that I learned really early on, I'm not a salesman, and I went into a job when I was 17 or 18, and I was, mentored by a guy who was probably twice my age at the time, and he told me two things that are extremely profound. I've never been a salesman after that, but I do have to be a salesman in my own business, just like you all
You sell
do.
yourself.
You sell yourself, and not in the fun way. But sorry.
I need a drink.
What happens when you?
I'm
bring
just down with that, like,
DJ.
yes.
So he taught me two things. The first is that when somebody wants something bad enough, they will find the money for it.
Yeah.
Now
true.
this is a terrible thing to say because
No, but no.
it's true. But people will max out their credit cards. They will do anything.
Quinceañeras. Oh my gosh.
$25,000-$30,000. And they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
The other thing he said was never disparage your competition.
No.
No. Yeah. So
and that's
That's exactly.
it's a big deal. So
Yes.
I was just about to
Yes.
bring up, I'm happy you touched on
I
that.
go back.
Yeah.
I go to that all the time, and
Take that in a round robin here in a second.
yes.
I encourage when a client contacts me, I encourage them to check out other DJs.
Yeah.
That shows two things. That shows that I'm willing to lose their business if I'm not the perfect person for them. It shows that, and it also shows that I am willing
Right.
to give them other options. It also shows confidence.
Yes.
Right.
Because I am confident that they will come back.
Right.
Now, do they all come back? Absolutely not. Some of these guys hired Joe Schmo, sorry, out of the back
Gary
of
Schmo.
Yeah,
It's
Gary
Gary Schmo.
Schmo.
Gary Schmo.
Out of the
Gary
back
Schmo.
of a truck that
We're gonna
says
have to make
live
that,
DJ
like-
on the back, and that's fine, and they're happy.
I'm kind of curious what the alternative to a live DJ is. Like, is that
a guy who
a remote
Schrodinger's
DJ?
DJ.
Like Schrodinger's DJ? do they like Skype in? Like, there's just one guy with a really big
I
camera.
love smart people jokes. Exactly. I mean,
Everyone's a
you have
DJ till you
someone who
put two
comes in.
turntables in front of them, and then
Perception is a huge thing
yes,
in every business.
right.
You can make yourself my website. If you go to my website and you look at it, it looks like we're an enormous production.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it looks like, we've got all this going on. It's a professionally rendered website. It looks like, that's perception. Perception is reality.
Right.
And in your business, I'm sure that's a huge part of it.
Oh my God.
I know
Perception
nothing,
is
I know nothing
not
about
real.
magic, but
Yeah,
I can assume that,
Right.
you're making them perceive something that is reality.
Yeah.
And in business, it's the same way.
Right.
You give them what they think they want, like
Right.
you were saying earlier. But the repeat business comes when you deliver on it as well.
Right.
And with
Well,
confidence.
and also, like, kind of before we get too far off the topic, I know that you work a lot with some other magicians.
Yes.
Right, as far as like not disparaging competition.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
right.
We are
encouraging.
each other's buddies.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially around now, it's getting December. People are getting booked, right?
Solid.
Venues,
Yeah.
entertainers.
Yeah.
They're hard to find, right? I'm sure you know. So maybe we'll have like a weird like Wednesday or something we want filled, or we're totally booked on a Friday and we're like, oh, we get a call, and we don't let that just go away. Like if they called me and I'm not available, well, hey, look, I have this guy who I can vouch for. He's solid, and
Right.
this is the person you
Yeah,
want.
I have a couple of guys like
Right.
that where,
Yeah.
and I've given lots of business away.
Well, yeah.
And
And the same
And
with
they'll come back
engraving,
and help
right?
you out later.
Exactly.
Because people will come to me and like, okay,
make
well,
enemies
I'm
in
wanting
business.
this engraved like this, and I'm like,
it's a small business. I mean,
that,
yeah.
most of us are in businesses that are very,
Right.
very small and niche.
All
And
right,
Yes.
All right. Let's. One of
Well,
the
yeah.
things that happens to me.
Mhm.
I get a call. It's something that we don't carry. I carry a very specific type of product. Somebody calls me up and says, "Hey, do you have this?" I said, "No, I don't." There are roughly 6 to 7 actual old school butchers here in Dallas,
Right.
and I have no problem. I am the first person to say, I don't carry that.
Right.
Go to this place.
They have.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The reason being
Right.
is Dallas is too big a market for me to worry about one person. The other
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
is I am upselling another competitor. Number 3 is I'm the one that they're going to call first
Next.
Right.
the next time.
Because you
If
got them the right connection.
I got them the
Right.
right connection.
Exactly.
Now I
You're the
may
hub
not,
now.
I may not be able to provide exactly what they're looking for,
Right.
but I can put them in touch with the people that can.
Absolutely.
And so I work
Well, yeah.
pretty well exclusively. I'm going to go ahead and plug this man. He's one of my favorite people in the world. It's Gary Hirsch up at Hirsch's Specialty Meats up in Plano. It's 1301 West Parker Road, if I'm not mistaken, because I've had to give that address
Walking
out.
Sponsorship
plenty of
opportunity
times.
available.
Walking distance from my house.
We love the man. He has been one of our closest allies in this whole thing, and it's not something that I want to create a division. Like whenever I open
Oh,
up
no,
a secondary
yeah.
store, I don't want to be in competition with him because he's got so many people that have, just like my customers, have
Right.
grown up in his store.
Right.
And why would I that way? That's not what I want to do.
Well, let's look.
What I
Well,
want to do is open up in a market that doesn't know that.
And,
he exists.
there's a careful balance you need to play between differentiating yourself from your competition, right? Because you aren't clones of each other,
No.
right? Versus disparaging, right? So, I do calligraphy engraving, right? When someone comes to me and is like, oh, I'm wanting I have a really nice pistol, I'm wanting some scroll work done on it. Not my thing, right? I can get you in touch with the right person, right?
But I'm not-
I'm the one that you need to talk to,
Right.
right? How much did you want to spend? These kind of things, or I'm wanting something engraved. What what
do you want engraved?
What do you
Wait,
want? What did you actually have in mind? Because you can get a sense of when someone has a very clear idea of what they want, and if they have a clear idea of what they want, I think you're better off pointing them in the right direction if it's not something you own, rather than a service you provide,
Right.
rather than trying to convince them that something you do
is
is what they really
Because
want.
they're going to be dissatisfied,
Right.
right? And it's gonna
if
come
if
back
they
to you.
if they
Right,
don't
because
know
at the
or they're
end of
not
the day-
sure,
the
well
end
then
of the
that's
day,
your opportunity. If ultimately they decide that you're not what they want, then absolutely,
Yeah.
right, forward them on to other people in your same space, right?
And they'll do the same. And I mean,
Absolutely.
the old saying that, a hand is a turning hand, or whatever it is, I can't remember. Where
Somebody said something once. But
somebody
yeah.
said something once that made sense right now. But really, I mean, you help, this person do something you're good at. They're going to help you do something,
Mm-hmm.
it's a turn. Wow, you're going to have to cut that out because I have no idea what the hell
The scotch is starting to get you on.
Scotch is. It's the
And we need a
heat,
fan
actually.
in
It's like
here, but
100
yeah.
degrees in here.
Yeah.
We're all shining.
Yeah.
Everything's
You
shiny,
can't turn
Captain.
it on with the camera. It'll sit there and do.
No.
Oh.
Leave that on. Don't mess with
Party
the lighting.
foul,
A
party
whole
foul.
lot of Adobe Premiere right there getting cut out.
You can do the fan. If it's hot, do
It
the
won't
fan.
sit here and flip the lights.
No, won't flip the lights.
Find out.
I don't think it's that loud.
Olive?
I will live.
Oh, okay.
At least
When
move
it
for
comes
me.
down on you, you will not, though.
No, I've had a fan fall in my head. It's not fun. In my sleep. But
Fan death?
fan death. Death by,
Fan
death by fan.
Death by
fan.
fan?
No, are you familiar with
Sponsorship
like fan
available.
death? It's a thing in Korea.
Where they put you in a fan?
No,
where they. You can look it up. I'm not making this up.
They're not making it up.
And I shouldn't say all, but some a
While
surprising
we're talking
number.
bullshit, I'm smoking.
A surprising number of Koreans believe are in a closed room with the fan on. The fan will alter the air in such a way that makes it unbreathable, and you will die.
Oh,
And
chop
this
it
is
up.
why Korea is
fan.
in the state that it's in right now.
It is called fan death. It's a real thing. You can look it up. I am not making this up. It's a thing. Yes, fan death.
Fan death. There's your pop culture
It
reference
is,
for
it
the
is,
day.
it is such a well-believed part of the culture that, like, fans, like just desk fans, are not allowed to be sold without
And this
timers.
is what happens
So
when
you can't leave
entrepreneurs
them
have ADD.
on and
won't die.
so you can't leave them on, they won't die. So
Wow, that's impressive.
yeah.
Yeah, well, hey.
Okay,
it's
so
interesting.
so getting back to competition and helping your competition in a weird way, right?
No, here's
I think it's important to recognize a lot of it is industry specific, but I've found more and more that yes, you should be in competition with with people who are fairly similar to you, but by the same token, you don't want your industry to have a bad name, right? Because if everybody else in your industry is horrible at their job, no one's going to believe you're the one exception.
Right.
Right. I've had to
Right.
do that before.
And
with-
my business, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt you,
no,
but
no, yeah.
our businesses are, there's a lot of assholes.
Yeah.
And, I may have to bleep that, sorry. There's a lot of people
Right.
in my business. DJs get a really bad rap for being just egomaniacs who wedding DJs are a little bit different, and I've actually had people come up to me and say, so are you one of those guys who will refuse to play, requests? And if you've been to a club, and I know all of you probably have
Right.
been to a club, you can't walk up to the DJ and say, play my song. Cute, but
Well, I get people play my songs all the time.
yeah, well, you're really cute, but I have to explain that away.
Totally get you, Rally.
Not sure what's going on off camera, but
It's the eyebrow
magic.
sexiness.
It's the eyebrow.
It's the
It's the
eyebrow
magic.
sexiness right now.
Wasn't off camera.
Can you put a bow chicka bow wow in there? or
What's it
something?
supposed to
we have
be?
a producer with a really big sense of humor too. But I've had to dispel a lot of rumors, and just a lot of perceptions, and again, perception is reality. So, to a lot of these people, they're sitting at home with their fiance on the couch going, "Oh, how are we gonna do this? Those guys are all a bunch of pricks," and I have to be. You have to be extra.
The thing I get
nice
is,
to these people and cater to them.
Yeah.
Where you're not getting taken advantage of, but
Right.
enough to where they feel like that you've changed the perception of who you are.
Right.
Well,
Well, you go ahead, Alan.
Oh, I was going to say, jumping off of where you are with that, I've had the experience where, like, I perform in some fine dining restaurants as well, and some of them may have tried some kind of entertainment before,
Right.
maybe even a
Yeah.
magician, and got burned. Right? They realized that whoever was there was not professional, was not handling it, not maybe behaving in a way that was appropriate for that venue or whatever it was. And now there's that stigma attached that, oh, well, we've tried that before, and you know, and I've been able to overcome that, but it's an uphill battle. So you don't want to ruin the industry
The
for
word
everybody.
professional is thrown out on everything these days. Everybody's got a digital camera and they become a
Oh, they're professional. Yeah, no.
Everybody's got a laptop and 2 speakers and they become a professional DJ. Your gear is somewhat of a symbol, of your profession.
It's the gear. It's
It
a bit
is.
of showmanship.
But you
well,
are.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's the adage in the photography business? I know you and our lovely producer at the moment, Jamil, which is switching back over to Toa. So, if it ain't lit, it ain't shit. Correct?
That's right.
That's
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
That's
a real thing, and I literally have some headshots that.